Y'all, Christine called it season 2, episode 9, you guys.
Yes.
That moving would break up the family. But did she know that the family was already broken before they moved? That's what I wonder. Because she said that it will break up the family. But my thing is, was the family already broken?
Certainly
and she
the
didn't
family
see
was
it.
on the precipice. And she could feel that.
I mean, the relationship... Anyway, but before we get into all that, y'all, it's Mary.
And Amma.
We want you guys to like,
subscribe,
and comment down below. But, you know, my thing is, I feel like maybe it was already broken, but maybe she felt like it would completely, like, eviscerate the family if they moved. Yeah. But my thing is, your relationship with Cody was already broken. Really. Because the fact that your man is living in the house and he don't come tucking your kids and you're a mom and you're taking care of 20 of them, his kids.
And then you're working.
And on top of that, he was not having... Listen, I don't care what nobody say. I believe that Cody was not having sex with Mary 5 years before the show started. That's what I believe. Because they were already in a bad space.
That's right. He said they were in their lowest point when he started with Robin.
And I'm sorry, when you're in a relationship, you're not touching nobody if you're in a really bad space. Like, how do I get the gumption to have sex with you if we've been in a tumultuous space? Yeah. So I think he probably had not had sex with her for at least 3 or 5 years at that
maybe
point.
2 to 5
before,
years.
2 to 5 years before the show even started. That's what I believe.
That's true.
Because I think it was just conversation, but I don't think he did more than, maybe kiss or hold her hand. But do I think that he was spending nights there? No. Maybe he spent it on the couch for a show.
Pretty early in the show,
he looked annoyed with her.
But also, remember there was a thing where he went to try to kiss her. That was before they got married. Before he got married to Robin.
That was on the wedding day.
Yes.
He was like, kiss me. And she was like, now?
Remember when Mariah looked at them like confused, seemed surprised that they were even kissing?
But Mary was also surprised because she was like, you want me to kiss you now? Really? Like, she was shocked. And, it always seemed like she gets extra happy or extra excited. And I always was thinking, oh, wow, they have such a loving marriage. She gets giddy about him. Not knowing that she had been deprived of sex probably for 2 to 5 years beforehand.
The kissing, too. The hand holding and all that.
So that's why she was so happy.
Because now she's finally getting to do that in front of this camera.
Yeah.
Too. And she gets her little, love now.
Yeah. But I do think maybe the move really did break them up, but I feel like they were already broken, probably beyond repair at that point. Because my thing is, how are you like having another woman while I'm pregnant? You're not showing up. You're here making out with her while I'm here with my legs out trying to give birth to your child who's probably 10 pounds going through something the size of a penny. And then you're here making out with your mistress.
He actually opens up.
Honestly, but my thing is like, how do you do that? Right. Like, how do you come back from that? I don't know how you can. For me personally, I feel like for all women, or at least for most women, it's really hard to come back from a betrayal when you do it when she's her most vulnerable.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Because if you do this,
she remembers that one.
Yeah,
she remembers that one. The other stuff she can forgive, but she remembers that one.
Yeah,
that kind of stays with her. So whenever you do something else or something, then she begins to feel, she remembers. It's like it just adds to, I remember when he did this when I was at my most weak and vulnerable.
Yeah.
But I feel like maybe hindsight is 2020, right? So you can say they were broken, but I think what it is that the wives certainly had hope for the future, right? So even though they knew that they were dealing with difficulties, Christine certainly had hope that things will get better. When she finally realized that it was never going to get better, that's when she left.
Yeah,
but
because she had done everything.
Yes, but she had hope. There was still a lot of hope. But when she made that comment that she thinks leaving will tear our family apart. And she said so. It was all of them sitting, the wives and Cody in the confessional. And she says, leaving will tear our family apart. It's almost like that prediction for the future. And you were saying that as women, we have
those gifts of being able to see the future, or at least have a sense of how it will go.
Exactly.
I feel like I have always had that. Like, even if you, Just like in regular life. Like, I know that if I do this, this is what's going to happen, or whatever the case may be. Like, I just feel like that's one of our gifts. Like, we're like foreseers of the future.
Absolutely.
And I mean, she predicted it correctly, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. And of course, we see Logan trying to be positive, the older kids trying to be positive, which was good. She also said something about when they first moved to Las Vegas. Well, first of all, they moved to Las Vegas. It's curious, and we talked about that before, that they're moving to a place where Robin's father is there. It seems that all the moves that Cody has made since Robin came into that family has been for Robin.
Arizona.
They moved to Las Vegas. This is where the father was. They moved to Flagstaff. That's where Day 2 was going to go to college. Like, all the moves has been for Robin. And the wives have gone, like, just moved with him. And in them doing that, they enabled Robin. You know, they made her feel like, there's nothing I can't do. They like, I can be, like you were saying, this little puppet master and get my puppet to do my bidding. All of his puppets going to follow. I just got to have a hold on the biggest puppet, which was Cody.
Yeah.
I mean, cruel, right? But that's how it is. Now, do you think, so Christine thought leaving will tear their family apart. Gwen thought that when they moved to the separate houses before they went to the cul-de-sac, she says that by the time they got to cul-de-sac, it probably was too late. They were already kind of okay with living separate lives. Was it around that time that friend came to say it seems as though you guys are living divorced life?
My thing is, I don't know how that makes sense, because the thing is, the cul-de-sac is what separated them. Before the cul-de-sac, they were living in one house together.
No. Remember when they first got to Las Vegas? Remember the cul-de-sac? Those were homes that were built, right?
They had to move to separate houses out far apart.
Yes, they were far apart. In fact, they were on different roads. Robin and Christine were on the same road, which I actually thought it was Robin and Janelle that were on the same road. But she said it was Robin and Christine, they were on the same road. And then, of course, Mary was really far away. And then Janelle was somewhere else. So she was thinking that by the time they got to the cul-de-sac, it was probably too late. Like, they had been in this separate life and stuff like that. But yeah, it certainly started though in Lehigh, because Robbie never went to that house together with the wives.
Well, she didn't want that life.
She stayed on her own, and I think that Cody liked her to be away.
Well, even if he liked it or not, to be able
to go there and stay there for longer periods of time with her.
Mom, obviously, you know what? Because in the book, he talked about how courting Christine, he wanted a longer courtship with Christine so that he could get out of the drama with Janelle and Mary. He actually wanted a longer courtship, and
so he can be going away and doing his little dating.
Yes, and Christine,
and being away from the family.
And Christine was like, "Hell no! I've waited for 5 years. We wrapping this up like a biscuit tonight."
So it wasn't,
So I think Cody is somebody who likes to run away from problems.
Yeah.
And if not, he will gaslight you and manipulate you and say, love the family and I'll love you. Okay, so Cody is not somebody who wants to sit down there and tough stuff out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that he ever wanted
Robbie to be mingled with the family.
He enjoyed being on a courtship for a year plus or whatever. Things had just got to normal. He did not want the women to enjoy the normalcy. He wanted to bring in some more drama because he thrives off of that.
Yeah. And he enjoyed going away. Like having to drive far away to go get
having his little secrets with Robin and kissing her and all this stuff. Oh, child. I can see why Christine got off that couch when he talked about, I picked out the wedding dress. Really? You didn't give a damn about what I wore.
One thing after the other. But yeah, I mean, hindsight is 20/20. They probably were already separated. I mean, what do you all think?
And they were probably broken beyond repair. The only way that this family was ever going to make it is if Cody did a 360 of character. And you don't do that with somebody who's pushing 70. You don't start changing when you're in your 70s or your 60s. You just don't, really.
Well, and then the other thing,
you get more set in your ways, if anything.
Yeah. And his father had predicted this. He had called Cody irresponsible. And even Gwen has said in the past, too, that when Cody gets with his brothers, it almost seems like he's always trying to overcompensate.
Yeah.
You know, he seems insecure around his brothers. And I'm sure the father stayed comparing him to his other brothers who were responsible.
Yeah,
including the one who passed away, who was in a monogamous relationship.
Yeah.
You know. So, yeah, I mean, you know your children, right? And
you know them better than anybody.
He's like, yeah, this one, he ain't up to no good. And it's sad that he has. I wonder. Do you guys wonder if Cody sits down sometimes and thinks to himself,
"My daddy was right,"
but then blames the wives because he's a narcissist and doesn't want to take any accountability.
Yeah.
Then blames the wives though for having him in this predicament. Well, I married. I can see Cody. I married. Let me be Cody for a second. Yep, Daddy was right. He could see this whole thing about this whole polygamy stuff. I tell you, you know, if I wasn't a lover of love, and such a lover of love, I would have been harder. I would not have married Mary, but she was there. Her parents pretty much like pushed me that day at the dinner, where it was like they were wondering when we were gonna get married. So it's like I was forced to marry her, you know. And then, I mean, Janelle was there. Now, I would have reached out to Janelle for sure. You know what I'm saying? But she always seemed to really be around. And she knew how to get me, make me jealous. Brought some other guy, you know, to Wyoming, you know, and kind of got me. It's that man in me to conquer. And so that's why I hurried up and wrapped that up with Janelle, you know. And by the time I knew she was pregnant, and I couldn't leave her because I am a lover of love and family. And then Christine, I really wanted to have a long courtship with her to really see if her natural eating self that grossed me out would have been something that I could have dealt with. And maybe if I had been with her for 2 years, I would have realized I didn't want her. But then it's like, no, she didn't want to do that. And, you know, her family was this, you know, polygamy royalty, AUB royalty, and there was nothing that I could do about that. I had to marry the princess because she would have married somebody else. So it's like I never had the time. The only person I went out to really seek, and that's why it's working for us, is really Robin. It's really Robin. But because I'm a lover of love and I don't like to hurt women, you know, I'm more of a mama's boy. That's why I actually ended up with these other 3 women. But when I sit back now and I think about it, they actually manipulated me about it. And my father tried to warn me. He really wasn't trying to tell me I was irresponsible. He was trying to explain to me the polygamy as a whole is irresponsible. And because of that, you know, but, you know,
polygamy as a whole is irresponsible.
Going to worry myself about it. It is what it is. And my mom called it right. She knew that I was a lover of love, and really I was a one-woman man from the very beginning. And that's why right now I am in monogamy. And, you know, that's just it.
Confessions of a Flawed Man. That's the next YouTube video I need to see from Cody.
So, here is Mary, and I'm Cody. And please like,
share,
subscribe,
and comment down below.
And tell me what you think about what I know to be my truth.
Okay, Cody. Thank you for joining the show. Yes, please come back.
Thank you.
Okay.